Hello, neighbor.
Hi there.
Do I have your permission to film you and use the footage?
You sure do.
Okay, and what is your name?
Andrew Spencer.
And can you describe yourself in 5 words?
No.
Can you try?
5 words. Big guy, retired teacher, sings.
Okay, fair play. Where do you live? Who do you live with? Describe your living situation.
I live just outside a little town, Shreve, Ohio,
Okay.
with my wife and my mother-in-law, who has
Okay.
dementia, lives with us.
And do you rent? Do you own?
We own the property, built the house ourselves
Nice.
in the 90s, and yeah.
Nice. Pets, kids?
We have one granddog,
Okay.
Poppy, who lives with us, although right now we're watching my daughter's dogs while
Okay.
she's in Virginia.
Nice. How long have you been living there?
We dug the driveway in the fall of '89 and started in on built the garage and got the house under roof in '90. I think we didn't move in till '91 or '92.
Okay.
And it wasn't done then.
Okay. Is it done now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We kind of went at it backwards, where we borrowed what we could afford to pay off and got it under roof, and I think probably plumbed and electric, and then finished it. Every 2 weeks you get a paycheck and you go buy lumber or whatever it is you needed, and just kept plugging away at it.
Nice. So how has that area changed since you moved there, since you've been living there?
So when we moved there, the village of Shreve, we live like a half a mile, 3/4 a mile outside of town, was a lot more thriving. Since then, so we're members of the Business and Community Association, and back in the day, the Business Association, they didn't bring the community in back then.
Oh.
Had all kinds of events, and it was just a thriving town, and it is much less so now. Most of the people who were involved with making it so have gotten older and died, and the businesses have left, and so it's a little more depressed, maybe a little fewer homeowners and a lot more renters, perhaps.
Okay.
The school district is consolidated, so we don't have they leveled the school. So
Leveled as in
it's gone.
It's gone?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's...
How far do the kids have to go to school now?
Oh, it's probably 9 miles, 7 miles, something like that. It's not far, and it's a straight shot up the road, but we always felt the schools were sort of the hub of the community, and now we don't have one.
Okay. What's your favorite thing about living there?
In Shreve or at my house?
Either one, both.
So we just lucked into buying the property that we did right before prices of land around us has skyrocketed quite a bit, and so we lucked in at the right time to be able to afford the property in the first place. And so we sit back, I don't know, 100, 150 yards off the road, and on a hill, look out over the village.
Beautiful.
And my favorite thing is to sit on the porch and eat lunch and watch the birds and look over the village, and it's just peaceful.
Nice. So in your estimation, what does a good life look and feel like?
Ooh. What does a good life look and feel like? Well, I think you can't be living the good life if you aren't helping other people in one shape or another way or another. I think you're living an empty life. I think I don't know, like I'll tell my kids at school, I said I'm retired, but I'm still teaching.
Okay.
Because I am both. If you're having a really bad day, go help somebody and you'll feel better. And I think to live the good life means that you are of value to other people.
Okay. And what's the biggest challenge you're facing in your life right now?
So when I retired, like retired, because I've retired twice. But when I retired and
still
actually
teaching.
quit teaching, so I did that for a year. It was really hard. I got really depressed. I had all kinds of time to sit around and think. And so it was a really awful year that led me to getting some counseling and starting some medication. So even though it was a really hard year, it's really been beneficial in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
I now teach a class on Monday nights for an organization called Love Inc.
Okay.
And the Inc. is capital I, capital N, capital C, so Love in Christ.
Okay.
And Monday nights I teach a class on trauma recovery.
Okay.
And but I still have the depression and mental health issues to deal with now and again. I'm in a pretty good headspace right now, but a month ago that might not have been the case.
Right.
And so yeah, just dealing with that, and it's probably my biggest challenge.
Okay. What's your favorite vegetable?
Ooh, favorite vegetable. So I am not a picky eater. My wife and I are kind of foodies.
Mm-hmm.
We've been everything from vegan to I'm pretty heavy right now, and I was probably 15 years ago. There was a span there I lost a bunch of weight, and people would ask me, how'd you lose all that weight? And I said, the secret really wasn't this diet or that diet. It was Renee started not trying to cook American healthy. So we ate Mediterranean and African and Middle Eastern and
right.
Japanese, and because in most countries of the world, meat is a side dish, not
right.
the main course. And man, there's so much good food out there, but you have to cook it, and that's the hard part, as opposed to popping it in the microwave or whatnot. So I say all that to say I am the least picky eater you'll meet.
And you don't have a favorite vegetable?
I don't eat Brussels sprouts.
Okay.
Because they are of the devil.
Okay.
But I will eat about anything else that you put in front of me. If I had to, I don't know. I like peas.
Okay.
I like cooked spinach, but not raw.
Okay.
Roasted broccoli and roasted cauliflower is amazing.
Nice. Okay. How do you spend the majority of your time? Oh, winter squash or summer squash?
Winter squash.
Do you have a favorite squash?
Probably what's the tan one with the long neck on it?
Butternut
squash.
Butternut. Okay.
And acorn squash is good too.
Nice. Nice. How do you spend the majority of your time?
Working, I guess, whether it be at work or at home or just doing stuff.
And what do you wish you had more time for?
To be with people, have people over, fellowship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you believe will happen to you personally when you die?
Oh, I'm going up.
Okay.
No questions. I've made those arrangements.
Okay.
And as honestly as someone who struggles with chronic depression, I wrote in my journal one time that when you have depression and you go to the doctor and get really good news, and the numbers that are supposed to be high are high and the numbers that are supposed to be low are low, that's not always a blessing. So, yeah, my maker and I are on good terms, and I oftentimes look forward to that day.
Okay. What's something that you know more about than most people?
Probably mental health.
Okay.
I got a lot of personal experience with that.
Okay.
That, I suppose, so Renee and I do trivia nights for charitable causes. We did one last night, and two of the questions were on like building trades type questions. And, when you build your house from digging the footers up to the putting the last shingle on the roof, you get to know a lot about that. So I probably know more about that kind of stuff than
I
most
didn't know
people.
that was a thing you could do with trivia.
So, well, one of my questions was, you buy non-dimensional lumber, so not like 2x4s.
Right.
You buy it by the board foot.
Okay.
What's a board foot?
But wait, you're raising money by doing trivia?
Yeah. So we raised, I don't know, maybe $1,800 last night for.
How do you get to do that?
We do it for free. And
who organizes that?
So it started.
Why is this a new concept for me?
Here's how it started.
Okay.
We have a friend whose daughter died from brain cancer when she was a first grader. And this was before we knew her. We knew of her because they were attending the other church in Nashville. We go to the Nashville Church of Christ, and they were going to the Methodist church at the other end of town, as is the case in so many small towns. And but my wife ended up working with her, and she would raise money through St. Jude's, because St. Jude's provides cancer treatment for children for nothing, including they'll fly you out there and put you up, and just an amazing.
I've met people
I was
who
going to say
do trail
business,
rides
but it's
for
not a business.
St. Jude's.
But you know, St. Jude's is, I mean,
Yes.
they are top notch.
Nice.
And so she was raising money, so we started helping her. She had pancake breakfasts and stuff to raise money, and she was a runner. And you know, when I had lost all that weight, Renee and I had started running as well, and so St. Jude's has a marathon, marathon weekend that they also have a half marathon and a 5K and a walk run and things like that. So we got involved with that, and just someone came up with the idea of what if we had trivia nights for St. Jude's. And so there's a little winery down here, Sunny Slopes, and we started doing trivia night at Sunny Slopes on Thursday nights for St. Jude's.
And who
we would go around and get people to donate raffle prizes, which is part of how you get money. You charge something for each team. And then we would have raffle tickets and raffle prizes for prizes that were donated.
If you got the most trivia questions right?
No, if you would buy raffle tickets when you came in the door. So we would have, 6 or 8 raffle prizes that you could win, and then throughout the night we would draw raffle tickets.
So it doesn't matter how many questions you get right.
Well, I would usually make some hokey little trophy or something. Actually, we got to the point where we had enough of the same teams coming that we started like keeping track throughout the year. And then I would make a bigger hokey trophy.
Because that's not really the point.
No, exactly. And honestly, it was, that was so much fun. I pointed out last night, we were at a event center last night, and it was very nice, but it was kind of quiet and reserved. You have it at a winery or a brewery or something, and by the 4th question, people are talking smack.
So what's something that you've learned recently?
Something I've learned recently? Well, I'm a trivia buff, so I've learned a lot of individual useless facts.
Favorite fact?
Favorite fact?
Or, recent addition to the trove?
Well, so it's always interesting to me because I write all the questions and I hold the mic, and crowds don't bother me. I talk for a living. I'm a teacher. And then my wife and my good friend Ryan keep score and whatnot. And I said last night, it's always interesting when you write the questions. Sometimes you think, oh, everybody's going to get this, and like 2 people do. And sometimes you think, nobody's going to get this one. Haha, I got them with this one. Like 7 people, you're doing, oh, that's crazy. Or sometimes, like I wrote one last night that was who built C-3PO, the droid, the gold-colored droid in Star Wars. I wouldn't have gotten that.
Right. Do you know now?
Yeah, Anakin Skywalker, who became Darth Vader, built C-3PO.
Oh, okay.
And I wouldn't have gotten that. I would have had no idea.
I was coming from like George Lucas's nephew, or
which character?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I never would have gotten that. And we had 13 teams, and like 9 of them got it right.
That's crazy.
So, on that same point, Renee always thinks, she's on me, oh, they're too hard. And I'm like, well, you can't have everybody get every question right. You have to have some hard ones. And one of them, she was just sure nobody was going to get right. And I said, so we had a bet. And if she won and nobody got it right, she could go shopping and buy whatever she wanted. Like a brand new outfit and jewelry and whatnot. And if I won, I got to get a new tattoo.
Oh, okay.
You see this green turtle right there?
Nice.
So, 3 people, I don't remember the question now, but 3 people got it right, and she couldn't believe it. Oh, I do remember the question. It was when the Buckeyes won the national title with their 3rd-string quarterback, who were the 3 quarterbacks that played that year. She's like, nobody's going to know that. They might get 1 or 2, but nobody can name all 3 of them.
There we go. Ohio sports
Three people
bus.
could do. Yeah, it's Buckeye country around here. So,
Do you have access to the health care that you want and need, and how not?
because I'm still working,
Okay.
we have pretty good health care through the school that I work for.
Okay.
The game plan for me was always to work 35 years. You could retire at 30 years, but there was a pretty significant incentive to go 35
Right.
financially. The state of Ohio has seen fit to stick their head in and pretty much take control over the state teachers' retirement system. And when that all started, they sort of grandfathered it up to 35. So I got grandfathered. I had to go 32 to be able to retire. And at that point, I'm like, I'm getting out.
Right.
I'm getting out so I can get my name on the dotted line, and the benefits are what the benefits will be.
Right.
And that's when I retired the first time, with full intention of just keeping
Right.
working, and moved to Hillsdale, another school district locally, and worked there for 2 years, and probably would still be there if not for COVID.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't do another year of COVID teaching, and
Yeah.
it was just, that was hard, and I'm not terribly technologically inclined, and it was going to be a lot of online stuff, and
With special ed,
in special ed, yeah.
which just seems beyond challenging.
Yeah, it was not good, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I retired and did a year there, and had decided at the end of that really hard year that I needed to be out the house, and so was going to sub. And
Okay.
it doesn't hardly pay your gas to sub, but
Yeah.
it'd be fun, and I'd enjoy it, and I'd be good at it. And ended up getting hired in a temporary position
Okay.
at this little school about 25 minutes away, mostly Amish kids, little charter school. And the person they had already hired, who couldn't start till November, didn't end up making it. And so I stuck around for the rest of the year, and they asked me if I'd come back, and I had to explain, well, as long as you understand, I consider myself a retired teacher.
Right.
If I get a good deal on, I don't know, 2 weeks in Tuscany, I might not be here for 2 weeks. And we've done that.
Yeah.
In fact, in a couple of weeks, we're headed to Puerto Rico.
Oh, nice. Where in Puerto Rico?
The island of Vieques.
I lived there for 5 years.
You did not.
I did too.
Oh, it's one of my favorite places. It might
Bio
be my
Bay?
favorite places. Yeah.
Did you ever see a little restaurant at the end of the
Are you going to say Trade Winds?
no, soul food?
Oh, okay.
Little food cart at the end of the road to the beaches.
No.
We're back 2008 to 2010. 2008.
Okay, so we were there a
2009.
little after that.
Okay. Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't
no, that
recall
was my puppy for a while.
Very nice.
So yeah, no, I loved Vieques. It was really awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. Have you been to the Black Sand Beach?
No.
Oh, you
I
got
did
some
see it on
things.
the, it is on our, so we're going with my wife's college roommates.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I met a couple days before the first day of classes our freshman year.
Okay.
Dated 3 years, got engaged, got married after we graduated. And she lived with the same roommates for most of that time.
Right.
So I got to be good friends with them as well. And they started up, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago, having like a little reunion weekend or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So this year they're bringing the significant others. And
Okay.
we're all going to
Okay.
Puerto Rico. And I did see the Black Sand Beach
Yeah.
on
Have you been there before?
to Puerto Rico.
To Vieques.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's your favorite beach?
I don't know that we went to a beach per se. We did snorkel off the Navy Pier.
Okay. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah. And we spent time on the main island too, and hiked in El Yungue, and
Yeah.
went to El Ponce on the other side of the island. And yeah.
Nice. Cool. When's the last time you read a whole book?
So I read all the time.
Okay.
I actually bought a book this year.
You did.
Um,
In paperback, hardback, Kindle?
paperback.
Okay.
But I haven't read much of it. It's one I've read before and wanted to go back. It's
What was
Clear
it?
and Present Danger.
Okay.
It's a Christian fiction.
Who wrote it?
Knew you were going to ask me that.
Claude will look it up.
Clear and Present Danger.
Okay.
Claude will look it up. I'm currently listening to. Wait a minute. What did we listen to on the way down to Virginia? can't believe I can't think. Right now I'm listening to, because that one ended and I was like, well, I have to drive back from Virginia.
Right?
One of the best books I think ever written.
Oh, this is the
So
one I want.
funny that when we listened to it the first time, this was the first book I ever listened to, and it was actually on CD, and it was like 12 CDs. We were driving all the way out to Calgary, pulling a fifth wheel camper, and there were times I'm laughing so hard, I'm like, you're gonna have to pull over, you can't see. You're crying, you're laughing. So it's A Walk in the Woods.
Yes, Bryson.
Yes.
Yep.
And I'm listening to that again.
Recommend?
And, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably my third time through, so it's not quite as funny because you know what's coming up.
Right.
But the first time you meet Cats, Cat's first experience on the trail, just oh my land, I was gonna have to pull over. So funny.
Describe a good person.
Oh, so again, I go back to what I tell my kids at school: don't cheat, don't lie, and don't steal.
All right.
So that's a pretty good start.
Yeah.
Now I'll go back to, what good are you to the humanity around you? Have a reason that you're here and be important to other people. Otherwise, you're just living for you, and I don't think you'll find that particularly satisfying.
What did you have for breakfast this morning?
Homemade granola.
Okay. And
I started with, I was going to have blueberries, granola, and Greek yogurt. But Renee must have ate all the blueberries, so I went with the Greek yogurt and the granola, and I put it on the little coffee table next to my chair, and I went to get a cup of coffee. Remember how I told you we're watching my daughter's dogs? So Boomy, the beagle, decided that my breakfast was his. So
healthy dog.
Yeah, I suppose. So I did not choose to continue eating that. Just got some granola and milk.
Okay. What's your favorite thing to have for breakfast?
So almost every day, my wife is a registered dietitian. Never really worked specifically. Well, that's not true, but most of her career was in related fields.
Okay.
But she's probably the smartest person I know. She's the kind of person, and it's awesome and fully irritating at the same time, where if you said, hey, I was really experiencing this negative thing or whatever, she's like, and comes up with, well, you could try this. Have you thought about this? And and she's really into natural stuff, so hence the homemade granola. Mm-hmm. She taught a healthy snacks class at our church on Wednesday night. And so what was the question?
What's your favorite thing to eat for breakfast?
Oh, I got off track.
That's all right.
I do that. I'm 61.
We're allowed.
Yeah. Lost it.
Favorite breakfast?
Oh, favorite breakfast. I never answered the question. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so normally I would eat oatmeal with cranberries and walnuts.
Okay. And is that your favorite breakfast?
Nah, it's not. It's what I would, but I eat it a lot.
Yeah.
It's my go-to breakfast.
Okay.
Favorite? Oh, I know what it is for sure. So, remember my wife's into healthy things,
Mm-hmm.
and she had this cookbook that was called, what was it? It was about like canning or doing your own things or whatnot, and it has a recipe in there for whole grain pancakes.
Okay.
And so it's got soy flour and whole wheat flour and wheat germ and cornmeal and buckwheat flour, which I really like. So I put less soy flour and more buckwheat flour in it, and some eggs, and they make big, hearty pancakes.
How often do you have that?
We only have real maple syrup in the Spencer
of course.
household. How often? I don't have them anymore. Hardly ever, because yeah.
Okay. So tell me something really specific that you love here on planet Earth that makes you happy you're alive.
So yeah, my church.
Okay.
Probably. Again, go back to the depression thing. Sunday mornings is my favorite time of the week, and
Nice.
get up and be reminded that God loves you and it's going to be okay. And
Okay.
yeah.
Nice. Which church do you go to?
Nashville Church of Christ.
Nashville. Okay. If you got a checklist when you paid your taxes and you could say to the government, these are my 3 priorities, these are the top 3 things that you can use my part of the money for, what would those 3 things be?
I think we do just a grand, ginormous, huge disservice to children who are in a disadvantaged situation, whether it be poverty or, being a teacher. You just, now I can walk into a classroom and spend 10 minutes there and walk out and tell you which kids have a really hard home life.
Yeah.
And I think I read I think it was a billboard the other day that said, if children are our future, then their present really matters.
Yeah.
And I think we just do a huge disservice to our future when we don't help those who can't help themselves.
Yeah. So that's 1.
I got to do 3.
Yep.
I don't know what the answer is. I think there's so much that our government does that is either self-serving or serving.
We're going to get into the 3 no's in a minute.
Okay.
The 3 things that are yes. What are the things your priorities for tax money? What is government for?
Government is for protecting and serving us.
Okay.
I think in Ohio, I don't know, if you're not from Ohio, you should come drive our roads sometime, because when you drive out of Ohio, you get a real appreciation for the infrastructure here. So I'm going to say infrastructure, roads, signage. I hate leaving Ohio. I can never find my way around. Because,
so Ohio does a good job with roads.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
okay.
just, there's one place I can think of where they need to improve their signage, and let me know, because I keep getting on the wrong road.
Okay.
But yeah, I think Ohio does a good job with that.
So kids, infrastructure.
Yeah, and as much as, I can't believe I would even say this, because the government does so much stupid stuff with education. So let's fix that.
Okay.
Because I think it is the government's partially responsibility. Yeah. We'll
so
go
education.
back to serving our kids.
Yeah. And then what 3 things would you not want your taxes to pay for?
So as I was saying, self-serving stuff. How can the dude that's going to leave Congress because he is accused of raping someone still get his pension for the rest of his life?
There is that.
And I don't think we are, being a teacher, there's nothing you can do that will make more money for you than have your product mandated in schools.
Yep.
And so, yeah, that's just, I'm sorry.
Well, maybe mandate it in the Pentagon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, again, being a teacher, I think, let me teach. I'm really good, and let me do my job, and stop telling me I have to spend so many hours to do this non-specifically educational agenda item.
Okay. How many living beings are you responsible for keeping alive?
Right now?
Yeah.
How specific are we? Right.
I have had people count houseplants. I have people,
living beings.
Living beings.
You didn't say human beings.
But you don't have to accept my definition. Right. You can define that any way you want.
No, I see. My answer would be me, my wife, my mother-in-law, and our dog Poppy.
Okay.
My kids are pretty self-sustaining.
Okay.
They're 30 and 35. So.
Nice. Do you feel well represented by your politicians and go local, state, national?
So locally, I don't live in the village of Shreve. Their politics is kind of a mess. Okay. But sometimes you go through a mess to get to something better. So I won't lay judgment other than it's been messy.
Yeah.
But that's not my politics. Locally, I'm in a township.
Okay.
Because we live out in the country, kind of like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, yeah, locally, I think pretty well.
Okay.
Statewide, if the state had determined to stay out of the state teachers' retirement system, I might be a little more forgiving, but you got to be kidding me.
Okay.
So, no, not at all.
Okay.
Nationally, I don't think they're representing anybody but themselves and the big corporations and interest groups.
What kind of person would you be most excited to vote for?
So I am fiercely independent.
Okay.
I was raised by a very, very liberal Democratic family, whose parents on both sides were pretty conservative Republicans.
Interesting. Yeah.
I always kind of felt like the evil conservative in a liberal family.
Okay.
Although I'm sort of an enigma because I'm like the pretty socially conservative, environmentally friendly, driving the electric car,
right?
you know, who
This
is
is why we
okay
need
with
an
some
independent-
environmental regulation and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I'm sort of all over the place. So I guess someone like that who doesn't
Okay.
pigeonhole themselves into a party or
Okay.
whatnot, but truly is trying to listen to the people and understand what the problem is,
Yeah.
and be a leader towards a solution that isn't self-serving or supporting the people who voted for them to get into office.
Okay. Well spoken. Is there something in your heart that you really want to do, some big dream that might feel kind of impossible, but just won't let you go?
Oh, a few. I mean, there's a few. I don't know that impossible is the word, maybe more improbable.
Okay. Yeah.
And because of choices I would make,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to like go on the coffee house circuit and sing folk songs and
Fun.
whatnot. I don't think I'm probably a good enough singer, but man, am I a hack on the guitar. I get Seth to come with me. He's an amazing guitar player. And how much fun would that be? But then you have to be realistic. There would also be downsides.
Yeah.
The schedule. I know the guy who teaches guitar at the school I work at, plays up at the islands on Lake Erie and just all over. And he said, what was it he said the other night? I'm going to go home. It's my last weekend off until next year.
Oh.
So, when I talk about,
Yeah.
traveling the coffee house circuit, you're only thinking of the positives,
Right.
how much fun it would be on stage. And
But Renee wants to do van life.
well, maybe. Yeah. Travel's probably the hard one. And that's we did travel when the kids were younger, and we
Mhm.
always talked about traveling more. And Renee will tell you, if I would get my health in order, we could do that again. And
Yep.
she's right. So we'll see. But I gotta, one of the frustrations of being a teacher is you can only travel during the high seasons,
Yeah.
because you're teaching when the prices go down and
Right.
whatnot. So
One of the advantages of retaring is
doing that,
Yeah.
but then I lose my health insurance, or
Right.
the cost of health insurance goes up
Yeah.
for us.
yeah.
So
What do you think the biggest challenge we're facing as a country?
man, where do you start?
Biggest.
Yeah,
Or the
I
root.
think the easy answer would be that the division between, I guess, two easy terms would be conservatives and liberals, but I really don't feel that's so much the case, as much as, well, as a person of faith, I would say that there are forces behind social media that are pushing the division.
Mhm.
So I would say maybe not the division as much as the forces, whatever they may be,
Yeah.
spiritual or just bad people, or
Yeah.
people with agendas, or people who are going to make money off of us, or whatever. I think that's probably,
Okay. The people who are trying to think y'all are the problem and we don't look at.
yeah.
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 And if you could ask everybody in the country one question, what would it be?
Where's the best cheeseburger?
All right. And if you're watching this and would like to answer that question in the comments, we would love to hear what you've got to say.
Shreve, Ohio has an amazing smash burger at the
Okay,
Village
so
Creamery.
can you beat the Shreve, Ohio? Where is it?
Village Creamery.
Village Creamery. Can you beat that cheeseburger? All right. Thank
I
you.
don't think so.
Thanks.
You're welcome.